You're with NewsMakers as we turn the spotlight on New Brighton. The author of Gods and Little Fishes is Bruce Ansleys. Also joining us, two community leaders from the Burwood-Pegasus ward, City Councillor Gail Sheriff and the Community Board Chairman David East. Thank you very much for joining us.
No problem.
Let me throw the same question at you. Are New Brighton's best days behind her, Gail?
I think the best days you're talking about with that shopping, yes they are, but hey, everything's up to change, and I think in the future there will be other good days too that will just be different.
How do you see it, David?
Oh, I agree. Yes, certainly the heyday of New Brighton was Saturday shopping, but we're optimistic and looking forward to the Change Plan 27 and other developments in the area. And I believe in the long term there is a very, very positive future for New Brighton, and it will be a place of popular destination again shortly.
Indeed. Now, of course, Plan Change 27 was adopted by the City Council, early June from recollection, and this allows central New Brighton height restrictions to be increased. How significant is this change in New Brighton's rebirth? Is this the biggie, Gail?
I think it is. I mean, it's been a whole process through. You've had the pier, you've had the library, you've had the slow road, and it's always been this continuation of a process that we have to just keep chipping away at it. But I think that for me is a big one, because at the end of the day it's people that create demand, and we need people in there, but then we need good housing for those people. So I mean, you know, it's just a fantastic view out there. It's a great place to live. I mean, as they say, once you live in Brighton, and you probably agree with that, Bruce, where else do you go? You know, it's really hard to go back into that central city or over to the other side of town. We've got so much there. We've got QE2, we've got the beach, we've got golf courses. Why do you live anywhere else?
How high will developers be able to go under this plan change?
I think that in the centre of Brighton it's up to 30 metres from memory, and then I think they did it really, really well. I think that they have scaled it like in the centre, that's like the focus point, and then graduates its way down. So I think they actually did a really, really good job of it.
So how many stories is 30 metres?
11.
11.
Yeah.
So in the centre they can go to 11, and then down Marine Parade it's to 20 metres, is that right?
It comes down further, you can go 4 and then 3 stories, and then so it just scales itself down.
Do you think that's the answer, Bruce? Do you like the sound of that?
Well, I think any answer is the answer right now. I mean, the whole of Marine Parade looks like a bomb site. It looks like it should house refugee camps, and I think in some cases it virtually does. And that's, of course, been worsened by the long argument over what's been going on here. People have bought properties in the hope that the plan will be a plan change, and they've just let them go. They've just died away into nothing, and some of them have been burned down, some of them have been bulldozed, some of them are just totally empty. So something's got to happen. So, and this looks as if it's going to happen. So let's welcome it.
How much of a polariser amongst the local existing residents is this big change to height restrictions, David?
Well, it was a very big polarising factor earlier on when the hearing was on, and I think a lot of opposition to it. But the reality is, I suppose, that there was a fear that we were going to create a surfers paradise type of landscape along the foreshore. And the main objection to that vista, I suppose, was shading behind it, wind funnelling, all of those sort of things. The Commissioner went to great lengths to sort of assess all those sorts of things, and I think the final plan that's come out with that tapering focus away from the CBD negates a lot of the fear that people probably would have had. The other thing, I think, in reality, there's got to be a demand. No developer's going to come to New Brighton and build and invest in New Brighton a dozen high-rise buildings. It'll be something that evolves. And part of the process really has looked at assessing the quality of buildings that are proposed and that they fit in with the environment and the landscape and the ambience that is in New Brighton at the moment. Obviously, so we're not looking for just a ramshackle development of high-rise buildings.
Obviously, the recession has not helped things. But when do you think it's likely we'll see major projects start to unfold along Marine Parade and in central New Brighton?
It's really difficult because it is the economic times, which is, and it's really sad that it's taken that long to get the height situation sorted,
Yeah.
and now you've got there, and all of a sudden you've got this recession. And so I think really another 5 to 10 years in reality.
Really?
I said probably 3 to 4 minimum anyway at this stage.
Is there any likelihood that this plan change is going to be appealed to the Environment Court, or is it solid?
Does not look
The appeal period has finished.
Yes.
There are no appeals to
So
the
that's
Environment
good.
Court.
Okay. Of course, in recent years, the most notable change to New Brighton was the reinstatement of the slow road, which was quite a divisive little issue.
Another one.
Out by the seaside. That whipped up plenty of opposition. Has it been a circuit breaker since 2005 with the slow road back? Has it been of benefit to the business community? What would your impressions be, Bruce?
Well, the business community certainly seems to think so, and I think so too, because you drive through it now, and it's a very attractive street. It really is a very attractive street. It's only one way, isn't it? One way.
Yes.
But the landscaping on either side is great. There's lots of trees and shrubs, and it's only half the main street anyway. So I think. And you don't get that kind of wind tunnel look as if you stand by the clock tower at the end of the street when it was a pedestrian mall. The old story, you could have shot a rifle along it and stood virtually zero chance of getting anybody. So it looks crowded, even though it's not. It looks crowded.
How successful has it been?
I think it's been very successful. I think if you look at the shops now, you've got Subway in there that have opened up, putting seating out the front there. I think it actually has been very successful.
David?
Yeah, I agree. There's certainly been a large increase in the number of people that you would actually see walking up and down or recreating in the area now. And I think Gail hit on it, Subway and a number of other eateries have sort of opened out onto the mall. So you are getting that feeling of people mingling with the street and giving it a greater ambience that wasn't there before. It's always interesting to me to hear people complain that New Brighton has the easterly, but I can tell you I could walk out into Hereford Street now and the wind would be fair cutting up Hereford Street.
Yeah.
Well,
and the easterly wind is prevalent wherever you are in Christchurch.
The big difference is when we breathe it out at New Brighton,
It's fresh.
it's fresh.
You're getting the first
It's
burst.
beautiful, fresh, clean air.
Well, on that note, we'll take a break because the easterly is a key feature in Bruce's book. And I'm very keen to find out from our assembled panel whether it has grossly overstated the downsides to the easterly, or is it actually one of those little blessings of nature? Is it a fresh and invigorating reminder about life at the seaside? We'll have a look at the easterly and other issues shortly. Do stay with us.